Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Asma.
Hi.
Hi. You can start your speech about the humanitarian crisis.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you, Ahmed. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. Just yesterday, we had a pretty strong earthquake, actually, in Georgia. And this once again reminded me and made me think of the fact that I do not know where are, for example, the disaster shelters, where are the bunkers in our city and in our country around me in case of either natural disaster or a conflict or like a military attack to save ourselves, let's say. And I'm sure many other people also are not aware of this. And that is a huge issue, especially because our area is earthquake prone, and also due to the improper building of high rises and bad quality construction, we are at a higher risk, even if the earthquake is not of such a great degree. I was just turning 14 when the Georgian-Russian war, full-scale war, broke out in August of 2008. It was August, so the school still has not started, but it was about to start. And those days I was really thinking, where could I take refuge, me and my family, in case if we get overrun by the Russians. And then I was thinking of Ukraine as of a safe haven. And now we see that the similar kind of invasion is probably about to happen there as well, unfortunately. That year, we almost, my school, specialized school for the blind, almost actually got into academic leave for a whole year because the internally displaced persons were living there who had to leave their homes. And because my school, as it is a specialized school, it's more equipped to live there. There are bathrooms, there are showers, there is stove, there was a kitchen. So these people were living there, and it got harder to relocate them. I remember I was collecting books to homeschool myself that year, but fortunately our parents managed to convince the Ministry of Education to relocate and find the alternative place for the internally displaced persons to live. And we were able to start the school. But that year was really a turning point in my life, where I decided that I was interested in getting into international processes beyond disability issues. And then it finally happened that in 2019, I was selected as Georgia's UN Youth Delegate, and I was able to speak at the UN 74th General Assembly. And of course, the people with disabilities have to be involved in both disaster risk reduction, preparedness and strategies, and peace building processes, because we usually are more affected than average population by both armed conflicts and natural disasters. In 2017, I was actually able and was given the opportunity to look through Georgia's disaster risk reduction strategy and action plan. But the strategy was started from 2014 to 2020. So it has been 3 years into the strategy before I was able to actually go through it and write feedback. And even that was only because the German organization Arbeiter-Samariter-Bund, the ASB, was involved, and they had a project on disaster risk reduction and disability inclusion in that. And that year we were invited to go to the global platform on disaster risk reduction conducted by the UN at Cancun, Mexico. However, since then, the Georgian authorities unfortunately still have not taken up the responsibility to proactively involve persons with disabilities, including youth, in disaster risk reduction strategies, preparedness, and all of these processes. The strategy of 2014-2020 obviously is outdated and had to be renovated, However, we have not been involved in the renovation process anymore, which I think is very, very important. I would stop here and I'm ready for any questions.
Great speech. Thank you so much, Asma. I have a question. Asma, how we can the humanitarian crisis solution be strengthened and applies more effectively?
Well, the CRPD convention actually speaks about it in Article 11 that people with disabilities have to be involved in disaster risk preparedness, and not only their interests have to be like met, but I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that the Article 11 of UNCRPD explicitly says that people with disabilities have to be proactively involved in the decision making related to disaster risk reduction and humanitarian crisis issues. But unfortunately, when the Security Council issued its resolution on people with disabilities, it was not similar to the ones that they have on women, peace and security, or youth, peace and security, where they speak about involvement of women and young people in peace and security related issues. But it is rather about meeting best interests of persons with disabilities, which sort of excludes, us from active participation and excludes us as subjects, but views us more as a mere object. So my idea and my opinion is that it's important that the UN Security Council brings its resolution into line with the UNCRPD and into the line with its own other resolutions on women, peace and security and youth, peace and security, and makes a similar one on persons with disabilities, peace and security. Thank you.
A great speech, Asma. Now هسه راح ننتقل إلى متحدثة صغيرة بالعمر.
And now we're going to move on to the next speaker who's quite young. Saja from Iraq.